Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Azuricast. I'm your host, Bijou.
And I'm your other host, Thundawave. And our guests are Andrew, also known as Diarchia124.
Hello.
And Jasper, also known as Blue J100.
Hello, everyone.
Plus, we have one special person with us today.
Hello everyone, Mark/Vayatir here, back with popular demand.
Back to fire us.
You guys just can't handle it on your own, what can I say?
Unfortunately, we cannot.
So yeah, he's our third host. So welcome, Mark, to the hosting team. And let's hope that Katie and I don't get overthrown.
We'll see about that, we'll see.
Please, viewers, please love us enough that we don't get fired. Please.
Plus,
You'll get lots of hugs and free candy.
You won't get any of that, they're lying to you.
Candy, how would that work?
I'll mail the candy out to them. If they say they love us, I'll just give them candy. That's how it works.
are you sure you want to make those promises yet?
We'll have to see.
Anyway, let's get to the actual podcast now. So we have another release of Sun and Moon news. We have 3 new Pokemon, Passimian, Oranguru, and Lycanroc. Although Lycanroc are Rockruff's evolutions, which were revealed in Japanese only before. What do you guys think?
I like the dogs, but I don't like the monkeys very much. I don't know why.
Monkeys have an interesting concept, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of any other Pokemon, to be honest. They've got some interesting designs, abilities, and moves, but I don't know. I can't really get into it for some reason.
I feel like the monkeys were created for VGC, because their abilities and that one move looks like it was tailored for VGC only, and not singles.
Well,
When I was looking at...
don't, like, Game Freak just bounce to VGC in the first place, seeing as they don't recognize Smargon as official? So it's not actually surprising they didn't design for VGC.
Probably not.
Yeah, the monkeys, I don't know really. They're kind of gimmicky.
When
in the
I'm
sense
looking at
that they're like competitive.
Well, whenever I look up the monkeys, I'm just thinking of this, like, I don't know if I should call it a meme or something, but a lot of people are wanting a Harambe-based Pokemon, so when I'm looking at these monkeys being revealed, I'm thinking of the gorilla.
It's an orangutan, not a gorilla, first of all.
I know, but I'm still thinking that they probably were doing monkeys, too, because everyone was like, I want a Harambe Pokemon, but they're like, well, you're not getting the gorilla Pokemon, have the orangutan.
Harambe.
One of the worst
That's
memes
already
ever created.
Pokemon, though.
He died for us.
He died for nothing, okay? He didn't die for any of you guys. He didn't know you guys existed.
Okay, so on a happier note than Harambe, trainer customization is confirmed.
Woohoo! Game Freak not messing up for once.
Yay!
We also don't have to be forced to wear hats, which that's really awesome.
That was a good decision, I think. Because you load up into X and Y, you see Serena or Callum, and they don't have a hat on. It's like, why? Why am I forced to wear this thing on my head and you don't? It just looks so much better without the hats, in my opinion. Hats are overrated.
Yeah, hats are overrated. I'm so excited to just show off my hair in the game.
That's something I've never noticed, that like everyone always has a hat. Or is it just me that...
I think that's just you who's never noticed that. I've always noticed they always seem to wear hats.
Yeah, they, like, all of the protagonists have hats. Though, that, like, the default hat for Sun and Moon, that was just, like, bad. And I'm glad we don't have to wear that.
I'm glad we don't have to either, especially for the ones of us that are going to play the female characters. We don't have to deal with that mushroom.
Oh yeah, that hat looks weird.
The thing at the top, though.
Okay, another feature was released, and that is Pokemon Refresh, which is basically Pokemon Ami, but more features.
I didn't like Ami. I thought it was a pointless waste of time, and if people liked it, I didn't. If you like it, good for you. Not for me. Not interested in it.
It broke your Pokemon because it raised their critical rates, and I think it allowed them to do other special things, which I forgot about.
I
Yeah,
know
I think it
it's
raises the experience that you get, and a few
Yeah.
other things too. But it just makes your Pokemon overpowered if you actually spend the time to go through it and level up their affection or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's the only way to get Sylveon.
Yep. And with this one, you actually get the cure status conditions with the Pokemon Refresh, so you don't need to buy like antidotes and like paralyze heals anymore or whatever.
Casualization of my Pokemon games. Back in Generation 1, we didn't have this crap.
Are you a
saving
Gen
money.
1er scrub?
I'm absolutely not a Gen 1, and my favorite generation is actually Gen 4. We didn't have that
Good.
then either.
Thank you.
So something else I noticed on the official page is that Pokemon Love. It says there's a picture there with the caption "Pokemon Love Pokebeans." Wonder what those are. There's just like the Pokepuffs or something of this generation.
Sounds
maybe?
shady.
Probably. Well, they have to make it kind of linked to Hawaii, so maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Beans.
Yeah, I guess
Interesting.
we sort of just downgraded from nice Pokepuff cake things. Like, now, here, you get to have beans. Yeah, like, you like
Yes,
beans,
we're-
don't you?
I guess.
Vegetarian Pokemon
I
going on
guess we're
diets?
making our Pokemon more healthier now.
Exactly, yeah.
Instead
Making them
of
go on the
eating
diet.
cake all the time.
Yeah, they're encouraging healthy eating.
What if they're jelly beans?
Oh, that'd be lovely. I'd love some jelly
Oh,
beans
boy.
right about now.
You
As long
guys know
as
how
it's
much
not like-
I love jelly beans.
As long as it's not those weird jelly beans that have like a stinky socks flavor or anything, because I don't think our
Being
like that
Boozled.
very much.
Have you ever had those Harry Potter Bertie Bott's every flavored beans?
Yes.
You don't have this. Oh
I've
my!
seen that.
I've had vomit flavor, and I almost threw up. It's
Ew.
so bad.
Oh,
Why would they
vomit
make
flavor's
that?
It actually tastes
You know,
like vomit too.
flavor was
It's-
originally pepperoni pizza.
What? Really?
No, seriously,
Pizza
like,
jelly bean
vomit flavor.
sounds
Okay.
gross.
There's also beer flavored jelly bean too.
That does sound good. I like a beer flavored jelly bean actually.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so since we have two avid Pokemon Go players here, I figured it would be a good chance to discuss how Pokemon Go is going and what you think is going to happen to the app in the long run. So the newest features that came out are Pokemon Go Plus and Buddy Pokemon, and also Pokemon Go has been released in lots of other countries. What do you think?
Alright, well, Pokemon Go Plus seems like a waste of money to me, so I'm not even going to bother with that. Buddy system's okay, but it takes way too long to get candy out of it. Like, most Pokemon take you walking around like 3 kilometers to just get one measly candy, which is a very tiny reward for like a decent amount of effort. And some of the ones, especially the ones that hatch out of 10-kilometer eggs, make you walk 5 kilometers. So it's crazy in amount of how much walking you have to do just to get one tiny reward. Say if you're walking around with a Dratini, it's 1 candy per 5 kilometers. That's a lot.
It takes
Well, this is
forever to
why.
get. Yeah, so like I've had Dratini as my buddy Pokemon since it came out. I've only gotten 2 candy from it, and I still need like maybe 6 more before I even get to a Dragonair, and I can't find Dratini here, which sucks.
Sounds like a
I've
cheapskate.
personally barely played since that feature came out, so I never even used it.
I personally
So
just
yeah.
never got into Pokemon Go. 1, didn't work on my phone. 2, everyone else fell out of love with it really quickly. Which is why I don't think the app's actually going to survive much longer, in terms of a popular thing, because it's already lost a lot of popularity compared to when it came out, which I suppose is
Oh
natural.
yeah, definitely.
But at the same
Like-
It was a
time,
fad.
Was it?
it's like you just wonder how long the application's going to last. Obviously, they've only got Gen 1 Pokemon coming out, and their Gen 2 Pokemon coming out soon. but will it even reach all the generations before the app kind of dies? I highly doubt that at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
kind of got bored of it really quickly, mainly out of I'm just lazy. I don't want to walk 5 miles or 10 miles or anything.
I agree entirely.
I just don't want to do it.
I do a fair amount of walking every day, anyways, just because of how my schedule works and what I do on during the week. But yeah, I'm starting to grow kind of tired, and I've probably put more time and effort into it more than almost anyone else on the forums, probably. But
I think
there are
go on.
I think there are a few major problems. One, the tracking system that was originally in there at first releases never came back. Despite them teasing like new ways of putting it in and stuff like that, because it glitched out like a week within the app's release, and then they just got rid of it altogether. And that makes it so much harder to go around and find the Pokemon that you want. And then, secondly, all the updates they've made since then don't really add much to the game. Like, I'm still waiting for trading. That would be the big one, because that means I can, with all the Clefairy and Eevee and whatever else that I've ridiculous numbers for, I could just give out to anyone who wants it. But right now, I'm kind of in a place where I just can't really... I'm not really accomplishing a whole lot, and that's making me seriously lose interest.
I think, like, for me, seeing the app just mushroom upon release, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a few loyal fans who are going to keep it relatively popular, but, like, nowhere near the level that it was upon release.
Yeah,
so,
upon
like,
release... Yeah. Upon release, it was incredibly popular, especially with people that never even really played the game before. Like, I've had coworkers that would download Pokemon Go, and they're like, oh, well, I've been a huge fan of Pokemon my whole life. I was like, oh, what's your favorite game? And they're like, oh, Sun and Moon. I'm like, what?
What separates
A game that hasn't
the
come out
real
yet is your
Pokemon
favorite
fans
game.
from the fake?
Hey, maybe they're time travelers.
Maybe.
Came from the future. Apparently it was good, according to them.
Maybe they're the secret leakers that go on 4chan.
Yeah.
So, any more thoughts or comments about Pokemon Go?
No, I think
Yeah.
we've covered it pretty well. Unless someone else has something to say.
Alright. Let's move on to forum and non-Pokemon thing. So speaking of mushrooming, there was a thread that recently mushroomed in general chat called Forum Crushes.
Woohoo,
Oh,
forum crushes.
lovely. These
Oh.
threads come out every once in a while, and this one has probably been the most entertaining one in a long while, at least, because most people are like, I don't feel like talking about it. But this time, people are actually mentioning names now, which is pretty cool.
Always do this, I don't want to talk about a thing, but it's like, yes you do, you want to post that comment in the first place, you don't want to talk about it, you don't want people to guess who it is. It is such a thread, just basically rolls around baiting people in to like asking, guessing who it could be. It's actually just intentional boring. It's just
Which is the fun if people like play the guessing game and they're like, oh yeah, I totally like that person, that person's pretty cute, blah 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 blah.
I mean, I can
Or
understand
whatever.
the appeal of it to people who enjoy that, but I've been through it so many times, at this point I'm done with it now, I don't care. You can like who you want to like, it's never, like, if it like, the chances of it actually blocking something real is like 0, so you have your fun, I am done, I'm gonna be over here knitting, or some other granddad activity. Knitting, sure.
I'll
Yeah.
start a mark that makes you sound
I
even
honest-
more like a grandpa.
I honestly don't really pay much attention to it. It's just, I guess, interesting to follow, but I don't think it actually changes any relationships between people in really any way, as far as I can tell.
I mean, it's good OTP H&H material.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you like that a lot.
Yeah, makes your job
Of
easier.
course. I run the game. But which ones, like, if you did follow the thread, which ones were the most either surprising or unsurprising?
Probably Chris and Alex, because it seemed like they were digging each other for a while. So when they both said they liked each other, I was like, called it. I knew it. And all that lovely stuff. Other than that, I'm not really sure. I know a popular answer was like Alexo and Jay and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen Mark's name appear a lot.
Yes, so I've heard.
It's really
I've
the
heard
voice that attract people.
Thanks, I
Makes
guess.
sense.
I'll take that as a compliment.
It's because he's British. Everyone likes his voice, so.
You see over here,
Yeah.
it's just normal, so...
I
no
think
attention
I
to it.
think like the best quote in that thread was one that Mikey or Hi said. Let me find it. It was something like Mark is mine to like
Which is ironic.
where are we? Oh, here. Alright, listen up. Mark is mine and none of you can have him. He's mine. Just ask him and he will vouch for me. Back off, my man.
You see, the funny thing about that is that
My
Mikey
God,
actually
Mikey,
found
you have
someone...
a girlfriend. Calm down.
Exactly, he found
The
someone on the
girlfriend
forum.
forums.
It's just, it's funny that, because he actually did find someone that he liked on the forum and they're together, so good for them. So, it's just an
Yep.
ironic comment.
Yeah. They've already visited a couple times in real life, which is really awesome, so I'm happy for them.
It would be so great if like they actually got married.
If they got married, he has to invite me. I don't even care.
Are we all invited? That'd be so cool.
Yeah. He'll just need to invite everybody.
Just an open invitation to everyone.
If there was a forum marriage, do you think like that would become like a global announcement on the forums?
No!
I don't know about that.
I don't think I'd approve that, personally.
Okay.
Probably not a forum-wide announcement, but I guess someone could just make a thread being like, hey, look, those two got married. That's awesome.
But then it
Just
would
like
bring
make a
back
regular general chat thread or something.
Aren't you
Or they could
topics
just post it in the
though?
chatterbox, but I think a wedding's a bigger deal, so I don't know.
Like especially since they met on the forums. Okay, anyway. So another thing our two guests are interested in is football. of the
Z, Z,
American
Z,
kind.
Z, 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 Z. You
We're not
enjoy
American, of course.
your pansy rugby, or your hand egg, or whatever you want to call it. Just don't call it football, because it's not the real thing.
Do you prefer the Australian term,
football.
gridiron?
Sure, that'll do.
That's what Giron calls it.
Yeah, that's what he calls it, because he's very
So, in the entertainment forum, there is a semi-popular thread about this year's NFL season, and a lot of it consists of people predicting which teams will win which games and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's actually not the only thing I've used it for. So we've actually had a fantasy football league going on for a few years now, and I've been organizing that. And yeah, so I've kind of used that thread to kind of help set things up as well. And everyone who's active in that thread is a part of it. So we have 10 people competing against each other. Actually pretty
So,
fun.
if you're interested in the NFL at all, go ask Jasper about this fantasy football league.
Well, you can't join now. You have to join
Yeah.
next season.
You have to join the next year, but
That's great.
maybe we could make a few more posts. Well, the problem is that you have to set the league and draft all the players before the season actually starts. So it already started back in beginning of September.
But they could still post in the thread at least to make
Oh,
the
yeah,
predictions
definitely.
and whatnot.
You keep track of prediction
Alright.
scores.
So, who do you predict will do well this season?
Well, we're in the fourth week now, and I'd say the top three teams right now are the Patriots, Broncos, and Vikings, because they're all undefeated and have very convincingly beat their opponents so far. But I don't know, things can change. There's 17 weeks total, and so and each team plays 16 games, so there's a lot of football left to be played.
Yeah.
I know that, like, I'm surprised that my family's home team, the Eagles, because, like, Delaware doesn't have a football team, so we just ride on Philadelphia. I'm surprised the Eagles are undefeated, considering their rough seasons, like really recently.
From what I heard, it's because they have a really awesome new quarterback, right?
Carson Wentz. He went undefeated in college, so like every year he was in college, he won a championship.
Yeah, North Dakota State represent. Yeah, that's
Ravy
where
and Cammy would be happy.
Yeah, well, Ravy was ecstatic when I told him that NDSU beat Iowa.
Any other predictions?
I think the Super Bowl will be between Minnesota and New England. That's all I can say for now.
I made a prediction a long time ago. Let's see what it... I don't remember what it was. I guess I'll have to take a look. But, yeah, as far as my team goes, I support the Houston Texans, but this is the only reason I do is because I just randomly chose a team several years ago. Probably not the best way of doing so, but they're doing okay. Patriots beat them really badly last week, so kind of put my expectations down to earth, but they can still win the division pretty easily. Make the playoffs.
Yeah, kind of like Jasper, I am a fan of the Green Bay Packers, and the reason I chose this team was because there was always a Green Bay hat in my dad's garage, and I didn't necessarily like the Niners or Raiders, which are the local teams here. So I watched a Packers game, they did well, and that was the season they won the Super Bowl.
Okay. So, I think I am going to leave it to Mark for the next part of this podcast.
Okay, no problem. So, carrying on from Katie's 100-song music countdown in the Entertainment Forum, I mentioned in the last podcast I was looking for entrants for a 50-song video game music countdown. And that has launched successfully. We are now in round 3, and I am putting delay on it because I am very, very sad at the results of this round. It is hurting me personally to see my favourite song crushed.
So I gave it a 9 out of 10.
That's great, Regine. You're like the only person who did.
Yeah, I gave it an 8. That's not that bad of a score.
Okay, it's not that bad. But people giving it 5s and 6s, I'm just like, no, this is horrible.
Yeah, I can't really say much about it. Sorry.
Yeah, Katie, you're on my
Because I
you're
was
on my
one of
bad
those
list.
horrible people.
You're on my bad list. I hope you know
I
that.
know I'm on the bad list. I've been on the bad list for weeks now.
I mean, I'm permanently on the bad list.
No, Katie's on my
Or
bad list. You're off the bad
Crappy
list for now,
Elite
Regine.
plays.
But 2 of my songs this
Oh,
round,
I'm
man.
on the. Oh, I'm permanently on the ban list for pronouncing Mark's name wrong.
Yeah, I actually have a song in this round.
Oh.
If the current round, yeah. If you guys kind of notice from how I gave ratings to it. Katie really liked that song.
Oh, now
Oh,
I know
the
what you're talking about.
Romanesco
because I
one?
was
Yeah,
like,
Romanesco
Yeah.
was his intro. Of course I know this because...
When I listened to that song, I was like, oh my god, I love this so much. And I listened to it like 10 times straight, and then I haven't touched it since. But I love that kind of music. Like,
Yeah.
I was just so entertained and so calmed by it.
Thank you,
I was
Katie.
like, yep, you're welcome.
I like that song too. I've not voted yet because I'm just depressed. I look at the top
Are
and
you
like,
going
Alright.
to post your ratings soon?
I'm going to post my ratings. I'm going to end the round soon. So if anyone wants to come participate, come do that in Video Game Sub Forum as soon as you can.
Rigged.
Yeah,
Great.
I should do that after this podcast.
You've not done it yet? Okay, you're on the
Yes.
bad list again, Andrew.
No. I've been busy the past 3 days, though. An actual busy, not quote-unquote busy.
Okay, that's okay. Unlike Regine.
Actually, I've been actual busy. I had 3 midterms last week.
Makes a change for you.
See, the thing is, I now only have dance rehearsal on Friday nights, so I can't be quote-unquote busy a lot of the time. So most of my busyness is actual busy.
I can't wait to be actually busy again. I have to wait a few more months, though.
I'm
Yay,
enjoying
but you
having
have
no
a
life.
job.
Graduate school. I have a job, but I want to be like. I'm not used to not being like. I'm so used to being at school, at work, and then doing all this stuff that it's just weird not me being at school. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, but luckily I'll be going back to school in January because I'm going to be a master. Yay!
Been there, done that.
Congrats.
Got the t-shirt, but congratulations, Katie.
Anyway, so aside from the video game song countdown, there's another fan favorite game coming up at some point whenever my actual busyness doesn't get the better of me, and that's Mafia.
Woohoo! Regine is taking forever. Let's all rage at her.
Hey, I have to advertise in here first.
Wow, that's a nice excuse.
I know, right? Anyway, so what did you think of the past 2 games, and what do you want to see in next game?
Yeah, I actually really liked the last 2 games, especially because I'm the one who brought it back originally. Go me, yay. I think the level of play has been better than I expected overall. I was somewhat disappointed in the previous game, just because the everyone who was acting incredibly scummy was actually town, and that really didn't help my game plan in the game. But no, it's been very fun so far. I enjoyed hosting and playing, and winning as Spree Killer, which never happens ever, so woohoo. I can say that I'm the person who's ever done that on this forum. Thank you. And hopes for the next game. I want to see, I don't know, I think I do enjoy games about citizens more. I think they're better suited for this forum, simply because this is a forum that's never particularly been kind to citizens. In terms of people always see the role as very boring, and I think comparing the 2 games together, I think the game with all power roles was just more exciting, and people were more active in that game. Maybe it's just because it's the first game, I don't know, but that was just what I noticed, so that's what I want to see for the next game personally.
Let's see. Katie, do you have any comments?
Well, considering I haven't really done much of Mafia since, like, oh my god, I don't remember when's the last Mafia game I actually played. I know...
Wasn't that, like, V14-ish?
I think it's whichever one I actually won an award for. Me being female ship, I was like the sheriff or something.
Oh yeah, the Mass Effect one.
Yeah, that was the last one I actually participated in.
That was a long time ago. It was a good game, it was such a long time ago.
Yep.
Wait, was that
overall...
V16?
I think it was like V12 or V13. It's very old.
It's been a long time considering I just haven't really played it. And what's unfortunate is, like, remember back when we did the competence, that word I can never pronounce.
Oh yeah.
So I'm actually allowed the host, but the only time I host was with Regine one time.
The Vocaloid one.
Yep.
Oh, my Mass Effect one was version 11.
Yeah, it's been that long. It's
even further back. This was 3 years ago.
Yeah, so I'm really impressed that Mark won that last game though as the Spree Killer, that because those kind of things never happen.
Thank you.
So that was like, oh my god, that's awesome.
Wait, actually, Katie, your last game was V14, the My Little Pony one, hosted by Zach.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. What was I in that one?
I think you were a citizen, but, like, I thought you were mafia or serial killer or something, and you were just like, oh, go ahead, vote me, whatever. I'm tired of this game.
Bad attitude, Katie.
Yeah,
bad attitude.
Yeah, that's actually that probably just shows how much I kind of was like, yeah, I'm done with this. I'm sorry, guys.
It's all fine. Andrew.
Yeah. Alright, so I've only played 4 Mafia for the last 2 games, and in both games I really messed up badly.
Yep. You can say that again.
Boy.
Oh boy, me as a witch, it was a miracle that I stayed alive for like 6 days. Because I was about to be lynched in all 6 of them.
We just had more pressing targets.
Yeah, and what was even worse was that I was supposed to win with the Mafia, and the Mafia is the people that basically screwed me over.
Yeah, that's happened to me with Regine too. She tried to screw me over too. I remember that, Regine. Never gonna forget that
Yeah, and I ended up screwing my Mafia over. Because, like, I could have fought back, but then you were like, shoot her, and I got scared. But I could have turned it around and been like, Mark, why are you so eager to shoot me? That sort of thing.
Alas, Regine.
I kind of had
Yeah.
a feeling that Mark was serial killer, like the night
Spree?
before, because Curry jailed me. Yeah, spree killer. Because Curry jailed me the night before, and he basically told me his game plan. He actually gave me a list of everyone who he thought was suspicious. So because Spree Killer was a bigger threat to Mafia at the time, at least in my opinion, I did not want to go after Mark. I was more interested in going after Mafia. And everything kind of fell apart when Megapod died. By investigating Mark.
Megapod fooled me once but couldn't fool me twice. I tried to get him one night and I failed, but the next night I sort of basically what he did is he sort of indicated who he'd go for and then choose someone else. So once I figured out he did that, I got on the second night and just as about to investigate me too. So I saved myself an unfortunate death there.
The thing is, like, I was like, I remember the night before I got shot in the game, I figured out the entire role list and gave, like, the reasonings why everyone was whatever. And then, like, just completely screwed it up because I got scared of Mark and I decided not to frame myself. And rip. Yeah.
Ripperoni.
You can't all be as good as me, Regine.
The ending could have been a lot more interesting, though, because Meloetta mentioned that she would have put up a quiz to see who she would have lynched.
I'm
And I would
so
have personally loved to see
happy
that.
that she didn't. I'm so happy. I would have totally lost.
Silbert the Shallow.
So Jess, what have you thought about the recent Mafia games?
Well, I think a lot of my thoughts kind of aligned with yours with the first one that one you hosted, given that we were basically talking to each other about it the whole time it was going. So I don't have a whole lot to say about that one. The last one was very interesting. This time I didn't have the role list and everything beforehand, so I had to figure everything out, but it was really fun to just follow it and see all the dynamics between people that was going on. It was very entertaining. It kind of sucks that like I don't really have a whole lot of time to like play these days, since I like to jump back into it, but I don't know, not even with the upcoming one. I don't think I'll have the time to actually participate and play.
Because you're, like, legit busy, not quote-unquote busy.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yeah. If I have time, I like to play again. It's been quite a while, actually.
Yeah,
But
that's one thing I didn't realize when playing, was that, like, Mafia is a big commitment. Because before this, I only played casually. So, first day in my first Mafia, my post sounded really bad. And no meta at all.
Yeah. I sort of capitalized on that in your first game, Andrew.
Poor
And I'm
Andrew.
like, hey, look, a lurker.
Andrew was very free. I'll say that much.
Anyway, so if you didn't get it before, I'm hosting the next game, and Jasper is my co-host.
Woohoo!
So yay!
I got fired.
Yeah, you got fired because you didn't initially say, okay, I want to co-host with you when I first came and said, like, okay, what do you think of being my co-host?
Regine's a
You were
tyrant,
just like,
by the way.
ask Jasper first.
Because my logic was, I thought Jasper wouldn't have time to play again, and he doesn't. So therefore, I did the right thing.
And that is why you're fired.
Nice. I'll make
But on
sure
the
you
other
get...
hand, he gets to play again.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be so fun! Hopefully things get better. I don't want to be Mafia again. I wasn't Mafia last time. I don't want to be evil again. There we go. I want to be Town. I like being Town better than being Mafia.
What if you get benign neutral?
Oh, let's not even go there.
And, like, Survivor.
Let's just not go there.
I think,
horrible,
like,
no.
I think Survivor is probably the most boring role in the world. Because first of all, you're utterly alone. And second of all, you're pretty much a citizen with vests.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, you just gotta stay alive the whole time. The end.
Yay!
Yay! Yay for living!
So, let's move on to questions.
Alright. So, first question is Andrew's question.
Alright. So if you could meet any member on the forums, active or not, in real life, at any place in the world, where would it be and why? And, Alright, how about Jasper, you answer first.
Oh man. At any place in the world. Like,
Yeah.
Somewhere that I've always wanted to visit was places like Europe and all the other countries in East Asia I've never been to, which is everything except Taiwan, really. But I'd say it's somewhere in Europe, meet up with a lot of people I know and just like, I don't know, just go out and explore and...
You gotta pick one.
Okay.
Any specific names?
Oh, this question doesn't say specifically which member.
Oh, doesn't it?
I don't think so. Just says where and
Let's
why.
throw it in regardless.
Oh well, it makes it more interesting.
Exactly.
Alright, fine. Alright,
And
fine.
by interesting, I mean good.
Yeah. Something I've always wanted to do, and ever since, like, there's actually a postdoc working in the lab I work in from Britain, so we occasionally talk about what's going on over there and what places to visit. So if let's say I'd go there and maybe meet up with Mark or someone because he'd be more familiar. He could show me around.
Woohoo! I'm
Yeah.
lucky.
That's my answer.
That sounds fun. Sounds good to me. Next person.
Who's next?
See what Marco has to say.
Okay, well, I can't choose Jasper now, so I'll choose someone else. Okay, so from any time active or not, so okay, I'm gonna say a member that's very special to me, and her name was Black Rose. She used to be active on the forums. Okay, Regine, be quiet. She was active on the forums only in 2007, but we spoke consistently in 2011, and then she kind of disappeared. So the reason I want to meet her just to see if she's still okay. And where I'd meet, she'd actually lived in Florida at the time. So, and I've always wanted to go to sort of Orlando and be a complete tourist in the theme parks and stuff. So yeah, that's who I want to meet, and I want to meet them in Orlando.
In Disney World?
Disney World, or... Yeah, Disney World sounds good.
World, yay!
That sounds
Disney
good to
World's
me.
awesome.
Or Universal sounds good too.
Okay. So I guess next up, Katie.
I can't pick one person because I'm gonna meet so many people. God damn it! Gosh darn it! Gosh darn it!
There can only be one.
Whatever.
Probably the. Shoot, I can't even. I don't. Like. It'll be easier for me to pick like 2 or 3 people than like one person because then I feel bad.
I mean, like, who would be the most possible out of all those people you want to meet?
Most possible. If I could, probably either Jasper or Rin. Maybe most possible for me to meet because they just live a few states away or whatever, and I feel most comfortable meeting with them. On top of that, where we would meet, I have no freaking clue. I'll just go hang out with Jasper in Tennessee, and I'll go hang out with Rin in Virginia because Kansas is boring and they won't visit me there. So, yep.
That is true. There's nothing for me to see in Kansas. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll have a lot of fun in Tennessee if there's things to do there. I don't know. Are there things to do there in Tennessee, Jasper?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like
Country music.
Great
Awesome.
Smoky Mountains are 1 hour away from where I live.
Ooh, that's good. that's better than country music.
Yeah. No country music. Anything music related, we're going to see Graceland, so.
I guess I'm next. Okay, so, if I can meet anyone at any place in the world, well, for the any place in the world, it's basically whatever will be convenient. I know that, like, it would have been, like, really easy for me to plan on meeting with, like, Andrew and Quilly and Kay and a few others when I was in the Bay Area, but, like, my schedule wouldn't allow for that there.
She just didn't want to meet us. It hurts.
I feel sorry for
So
you.
mean, Regine.
Regine is horrible. She's always quote-unquote busy. She's blowing people off because she doesn't want to go see them. Just how can you do this to people, Regine? How can you be so cruel?
But let's see. I think meeting Mark would be fun.
Yeah, I'd like to meet you too, Regine.
Yay!
Just don't be quote-unquote busy at the time, because that won't make me very happy.
But, like, if I was in London, I would be less quote-unquote busy.
True.
Unless, like, if I was studying abroad there, and, like, I don't know.
Oh my god, if you were studying here, you'd never meet me. You'd be like, I'm too busy studying. I'd be like, no you're not. I've just seen your Facebook. You're going...
But, like, if I was there, I would try to make the time to meet up with any friends there.
Oh wow, you tried to make the time. Like, okay, Regina, I
Okay,
see how
I
it is.
would make the time.
There we go, we're finally getting somewhere.
Alright.
So,
Andrew, since you asked the question, what are you thinking?
Okay, so I would pick Melvin, because he's been my friend the longest on the forums. And the place we would go to is Compton, because we like joking around that place a lot. And he always tries to act like a G. Tell us how he sells rocks and stuff. And, yeah.
Yay!
Yay.
So I guess next person to ask the question is our other guest, Jasper.
Alright, I have a lot simpler question here. So this is, what is your favorite video game of all time, and why? So let's get started with, I'll throw it to Katie first.
Alrighty. I'm not going to count any Pokemon games, because even though I love Pokemon, it's not my most favorite game of all time. My most favorite game of all time is actually Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door for the GameCube. I'm absolutely in love with all the colorful characters. I'm in love with the just the design of the Paper Mario games. I love the first two. After Thousand-Year Door, it kind of went down for me. There's a new Paper Mario game coming out this year. That looks pretty exciting, so. Overall, though, I love the story, I love the gameplay, I love the colors, I love the characters. So, Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door would have to be my most favorite game of all time.
Yeah, I think it was a great game.
It was.
It's one I never played, but I've always heard good things about.
Okay, I think I'll bounce this over to Mark next.
Oh, please, no. Oh, I can't pick just one. This is so hard. I've played so many good games, so many RPGs I love. Can I pick a series?
You can pick a game within that series, can't you?
Okay, my favourite series is obviously Tales of, because it's one of my favourite JRPG series. It gives so much freedom, so many different characters that all sort of appeal to me, different storylines, very fun battle system. Favourite game within that would be either... Oh crap, I've got to pick. This is so hard! I saw this question, I was just dreading it, because I knew I'd be able to come up with an answer for it. I'm going to say Tales of Symphonia, just because it's the one I played the most. And I always come back to it, and I always have a good time, and it never gets old to me, and I always find something new in the story every time we play it, so it's a very deep and interesting game, and I recommend it to anybody. I recently gave it to Jasper.
Yeah, like me.
Hey, you enjoyed it.
I'm very surprised you didn't say
game.
Zillia.
You see, I was debating Zillia and Symphonia, but I was like, I played Symphonia more, so I should say that instead. Even though Zillia I probably do like more, it's just, it's so hard, Regine.
Because of Mila.
Mila.
Oh, okay, Mila.
Yeah, you're doing what Jasper did. It's Mila. Mila.
Why are you mispronouncing people's names, Eugene? Oh
I
my
know,
God.
it's so horrible.
Crap, I just moved higher on the bad list.
Yep. So who's next?
I'm gonna give this to Andrew.
Okay, so I don't play video games too much, and what I play isn't too varied. So I'll just go with Pokemon Stadium. Because as a
Nice.
kid, I always liked playing it. I always liked playing Pokemon Red on the TV. I always liked battling through the gym leaders, and I loved playing the minigames. And the best minigame of them all is Clefairy Says, and those who hate it just can't memorize things at all.
Throwing some shade there.
That
Yeah.
game was like, I hated that game when I was like 9 years old? I remember when I first got the game, I absolutely dreaded that game. Like, out of all the games, it was my least favorite. As time went on, though, I ended up actually, once I got decent at it, I was like, yay, I feel so smart now. I can memorize things.
Only 12 buttons. You only have 4 choices.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So, I guess that leaves me again. So, my favorite video game of all time? Well, it depends on if you're talking about video games I've played or video games I've watched people play.
What do you mean? There's one you watched people play that you like better than everything you played?
Yeah, that's such a weird answer.
Well, it's because, like, my parents don't buy me a lot of video games other than Pokemon.
I mean, yeah, but you've got to have a favorite out of those, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, just
Okay, out of the ones that I've played, I'm a hipster who chooses Pokemon Black and White.
Oh no, Regine, we're gonna have a big falling out over this. I'm boo. Least favorite Pokemon games, Black and White, I hate them.
But the story was good.
It is. Pokemon Black and White, out of the Unova games, I personally like Black 2 and White 2 better, but Pokemon Black and White's pretty good. So,
Cause like their actual cause made sense.
mm-hmm.
Whereas Team Flare is just like, I want a beautiful world.
I want a beautiful world, so I'm just going to kill everybody.
Hey man, that does make the world beautiful.
Yep, killing everybody makes the world more beautiful.
yeah, it's not my favorite Pokemon game, but I liked it for what it was.
Mm-hmm. And Ghetsis is just like an evil person. Like
Yeah, I
a
remember.
truly evil person.
Yeah, I remember playing through getting to that point after you beat the Elite Four, and then you have any Ghetsis. And once I found out what Ghetsis' role was, I was like, oh, hell no. How dare you just treat N like that? And such a sweetheart. Why are you doing that? N is so innocent. I feel so bad for him.
Alright. Jasper.
Alright. So, my favorite game of all time is Metroid Prime, and this was a game I played when I was around like 11 or 12, around that age, and the first time I played it, I struggled through it so hard, but like, I think the atmosphere and the environments that the game had in them were just like so beautiful at the time. Like, the graphics were just amazing, and the atmosphere of it, like the music and the sounds and everything, it was really made you feel like you were really exploring an alien world. And I got so into it that even though I was probably one of the worst players ever played a game at that time, I always wanted to just keep going. Metroid's a really good series.
I've never personally played any of the Metroid games, but I've always heard good things about Prime, the Prime series. Even though it's actually the one disliked the most by the creator, ironically enough. I've heard the creator does not really like the Prime series, which is interesting because it's the most popular series in the West of the Metroid games. So I guess...
Yeah, that's kind of odd. But the 2D ones are all pretty good too.
Mm-hmm. Well, so I think that concludes our Azuricast. Thanks for tuning in, and hope you come back for more. Hope you enjoyed as well. So, see ya.
Yeah.
See ya.
See you guys. Thank you to our
Bye.
guests for
Yep,
coming.
thanks for having us.
Bye.
Remember to leave love for me in the
Bye.
comments.
Stay up all night to get lucky.
All right.